You know why it seems so challenging sometimes when we hear the word? Because we grew up a certain way. We were born into something. And when you really look at the word, you realize it's the total opposite of everything we were. So we tend to think the way it's been is normal. But the way it's been is actually the twist. And we were never intended or created to be the way we were growing up. People even say, well, God gave us emotions, brother. God did not give you the emotions you grew up with. That's the perversion. Adam gave you those. You were born into Adam, not into Christ. You had a self-centered motive when you were born. You didn't know anything but you living for and thinking for you from the time you can remember. It was all about you. It was about you making it, survival. You needed support. You needed valued. You needed appreciated. From little up, you had so many needs, and it was all about you. Now you think about that. Self-centeredness was at the core of your being, and all your emotions, reactions, and responses flowed out of that wellspring called all about me. It's the only reason we knew how to be angry without being trained. It's the only reason you became self-conscious, self-centered, discouraged, disappointed, frustrated. Like it came to all of us easy. We all got 4.0s with no study. There's a reason Jesus said, if you're going to follow me, he didn't say just attend church. He said, if you're going to follow me, I need you to do something. I need you to deny yourself. Why? It's the biggest stumbling block on humanity. We were never made for ourselves. We were made for his image. So Jesus says, unless you deny that deception and stop living for yourself, you'll never truly follow me and manifest me, because you'll manifest the fruit of self. The only reason a person can be discouraged is just thinking for themselves. The only reason you're offended is because it's how it affected you. The only reason you go, oh, here we go again, not now, because it's what it's going to cost me, how I'm going to have to labor to do it, and here I am inconvenienced again. It's just about us. You pass a friend's driveway and go to church, and they call you right when you get in the parking lot, and it's 3 miles back. It's not that far, but you just went by there, and they say, hey, man, are you at church yet? Yeah, just pulled in. Why? What's up? Well, I can't get my car started. I was wishing you could give me, we're going to tell them, yeah, because they're a friend, but we're like, man, why couldn't they have called me 5 minutes ago when I went right by the driveway? It's just the way, and we think it's all normal to just think for yourself like that. When I look at Scripture, it was never, ever, 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 ever the plan. So that's why it seems challenging, because it's been normal to us. And we think, well, everybody's this way. Well, that's the way it is, brother. Well, we're all like that. But here's the problem. We're not following us. We're following him. So you have to be very careful. You don't take our experience in Adam and our experience before Christ and make that greater than the grace of God that's here to change me and make me different. So do you believe it's possible for our motive to change? Do you believe God can get in our heart and change the why in our life? Can he change the why in our marriage? Can he change the why in our relationships? Do you believe that God has the ability to pour truth into us to where we actually can wake up and live 40 years on the earth and all of a sudden see something you never saw before and wake up in your 41st year with a new reason for being and a new reason for being alive? That's very simply what the gospel's intending. To give you new life through Jesus Christ, to put old things away and put the new thing on. Yeah? That you actually have a whole new reason for being, a whole new motive in life, a whole new reason for living. That the why behind your motivation has totally changed. And it's not about you anymore, it's about his great name, and it's about others. If I wake up and I'm really thinking for his great name and for you, my day's already had and made. No, think with me. If I get tricked into survival and I'm coming to God just to get through, I've never seen anybody flourish in that mentality. You stay self-focused, everything's a trap from the devil, everything's about you and what the devil's trying to do, and it's just all about you and all this stuff. And the devil just, well, you know, and we're just praying, and keep me in prayer, brother. And it's like, what are you accomplishing? Like, what? So yeah, the devil, who knows he's out there, he's a jerk, and he's always trying to make everybody stumble. He's not my issue. I don't even think about the devil. He's a cut-off, withering branch coming to nothing. Why would you give him a platform? Look what happens when you give people a microphone. They flat out manifest. Why would you give him a microphone? Don't even think about him. He's behind me. He's under my feet. He's not. No, if he gets right in front, there's times you have to remove, cast. I don't talk to the devil. I don't bind you and rebuke you, devil. I submit to Jesus. I yield to God. I walk in light. I walk in truth. I walk in love. I live by the Spirit. He is no match for those things. Like, he can't touch that response. He only takes what you give him. He's seeking who he can devour. It says if we keep ourselves, the evil one touches him not. That means if I keep my motive pure, to the pure all things are pure, and the pure in heart shall see God. Satan has nothing to work with a pure heart. And we have to be able to have one if Jesus talks about one. Let's stop talking ourselves out. Well, nobody can have a pure heart. Jesus said you can. Yay. Look, I'm not going to argue with you. I'm just sticking with Jesus. I just believe he's right. If he says I can follow him, he's not sending me on a wild goose chase. He's sending me on a journey following him. He's not saying follow me and then sitting at the right hand going, look, they actually thought I was serious. They're trying. He's not doing that. He's empowering me to actually follow him. So I'm not correcting Pastor Kurt by any means. Don't let the truth be challenging in your life. It feels that way to us a lot because it's calling us to something we never were without him. But he's calling us to something we always were with him. That got lost through sin and separation from God. Jesus took care of the sin to restore that place. Please don't make Christianity about anything else. Make it about that first, and let everything else flow from that wellspring. It's not about you having a better day. It's not about your circumstance. It's not about your boss treating you better today, and your whole goal is praying for him to change. Your whole goal is to become more like Christ so you can see your boss through Jesus' eyes. And not give up on him and not get another job because you can't stand him, because you'll find somebody at your other job you can't stand because you haven't dealt with that thing in your life. You can't run from problems. You become different. A drug addict can't change locations. Drugs will be right next door. You have to deal with the addiction. You have to deal with the problem, not the environment. You don't ask for a new job because you can't stand your coworkers. You get a different view of your coworkers through Christ, and you thrive and shine on your job. And if you do get a new job, don't think God gave it to you. It's because you left where you were. Well, God finally got me out of there. No, he didn't. He wanted you to stay there, I'm sure. Because you're just going to have another history at another job of more jerks and people. And God, why don't you do something with the earth? I'm trying to, if you'll yield and become. It's just crazy how self-centeredness has made everything else our problem. Self-centeredness just has no conscious or conviction of that. It just makes everything else your problem. If this would just change, it'd be better. If they just shape up, life would be good. Why do them people have that? Why don't they just, oh, brother. And they're just, and next thing you know, you pick and choose and you set your own little safe space up, and don't let that be rocked. And you call that freedom? That's extreme bondage. Because if one little thing gets out of place, you're undone and you're not manifesting him. I just want to live a little more solid than that. No, forgive me. I want to live a lot more solid than that.